I have to say this. If I was part of this Y crew, I don't think I would have interacted with anybody in the 400. Keep the situation secret. Just keep trying to do what's needed. Set up a whole secondary committee or something to deal with people. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Infinite Ryvius. Actually, I have a note about that, but I get to that at the end of the notes, where I believe I put that. First off, we have a comment from Master Detective from the episode Beyond the Vast Sea. You'll likely put it together when you rewatch and edit the board, but Headphones Girl and Yuki's girlfriend are different people. So, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and bring up the board. My confusion when I read that comment, and I think I responded to it as well, is that I'm pretty sure I did not edit the board. Yuki's girlfriend and Headphones Girl are these two people, and I'd never had them connected. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't recall editing anything to do with them since the last episode. She's the girlfriend, and I guess that's why you air quotes it, but she's the girlfriend that he broke up with in episode 1, where she slapped him, and then the other people rush out and indicate that he dumped her. She's Headphones Girl, the one that Aze lent tapes to in episode pre-episode 1 or during episode, whatever you want to consider it. She hands him the thing at the table where they're eating food, and I think last episode, or maybe episode before last, we just see her wandering around with the headphones in. Shows she's like blissfully ignorant to the emergency situation that's going on. So yeah, I've never connected the two. I think maybe I said something during the episode which indicated that I might have confused them, but I don't think I've ever had them tied on the board. So again, I'm unsure as to what you're indicating there. Otherwise, I guess while we have the board up, some additives. I've added a number of the crew that had voice lines last episode. Crew. They're not the crew. They're the ZY second year students. So, I guess acting crew. Let's see. I tied together the bad guys. Again, she's not in there. Just happens to be a square, and typically that's how I put things. But no, she's just out of the loop because remember she's a Stargirl who knew who Fina was. But yeah, these two got captured. I'm not exactly sure what their status is after they got like shoved into lockers and whatnot. So I did the red outline on them to indicate that they've been captured. Status unknown. Sorry, zoomed out as I was, the shadow on his teeth made it look like he was missing half his teeth. I couldn't figure out what's going on there. Let's see, did I add anybody? Oh, yeah. These two down here, we saw them when they were leading blonde-haired chubby kid into the bathroom, or told him to unlock the bathroom so they could shove him in and apparently beat the crap out of him. Anyway, there are two other members. You can see the chubby guy right there on the other side of him. What else? Oh, and I guess obviously the who is hostile to who. As a group, I have indicated that the back alley guys are hostile to the guy that they beat up, because that just seems friggin' obvious. Otherwise, I attached the lines to the outside of groupings that I've made. So obviously, the two infiltrators that killed all the adults is hostile to this Y group, as we saw in the episode. They are also hostile to Team 7, because Team 7 was there during the fight. They held Fina hostage, hostile to her, and they got into a fight with the back alley group when they retook the bridge, so hostile to them. Otherwise, I do not believe that I've made any other connections. Oh, other than my normal purple or pink line to indicate relationships or interest, as obviously Koji is interested in Fina. I think I already had one here, but in case I didn't, Aoi is interested in Yuki. That seems pretty obvious. Did I have anyone else? It does not look like it. No. Okay. So, those are all the characters in the relationship board. Next up, obviously, I have thoughts. So, if our mystery purple girl is supposed to be like one of those magical wisdom characters, then I think the start of last episode was probably what we were supposed to apply to the characters that her words apply to as we see them. So we have, I think. My problem here is I'm confused on a number of the people that we saw. I think the first person laying face down in bed is Koji, where she says troublesome. Oze is I can't stand it. Yuki is hypocrite. Aoi is you don't understand. Here's what the confusion is. I think the next person we see is Koji again. So that's what's messing me up. And that one's Hurry. Julie is shut up. Fina as seen through Rafra's eyes. And I'm not sure if that means something, if like that applies to Rafra, or if that applies to Fina, who Rafra's looking at, who says it's too late. Eric Campbell is I don't want to die. Which, now while I'm writing it, could actually be characters' thoughts. Eric sacrificed himself, so I don't want to die fits for him. Julie is constantly staying quiet until forced to give orders or observations by the situation, so it could be her hesitancy to speak up. I can't stand it could apply to Aze's need to rescue everyone from the situation that they are in, as per his breakdown and not being able to save whoever was behind the airlock before. Yuki's hypocrite could be leveled at his brother, given his attitude that seems to be at play. I clearly must be getting the double Kojis wrong, so one of them must be for him. Not sure which. I'm not sure how old some of those kids are supposed to be. Given the variable age of anime characters' appearances, I feel bad for the girl hugging her ripped up stuffed animal. For me, I remember having a stuffed animal up till I was like 10, and had a hard time giving it up. So I sympathize with this nameless background character to a point. And that point is that it seems like they are the same age as everyone else and starts crying out of the blue. Not out of the blue, obviously. They're crying because Koji's implying that they might die, but still. This is one of those elements where my sympathies are very, like, razor thin, and people call me out on it all the time in these anime reactions. So, it is what it is. But her crying causes everyone else to become distressed. Even more so when some other kid starts hitting on her. I mean, because she's either a really young kid like Pat, playing with stuffed animals, and not really able to understand the situation, or she's a student in her late teens, like all the pilots and navigators around her, where it would be acceptable to think some guy might be hitting on her. It's just very confusing. There are 487 students on the libel, which means that there were at least 48 adults left as well. Some kid says the instructors were lost, aka the ones that sacrificed themselves, but we only saw 3 of them go. Then the terrorists say that they've gotten rid of all of the staff, and we see a room full of dead bodies. So, no staff, no instructors, no adults. Which I guess is where the whole Lord of the Flies thing comes from. I'm still uncertain what our back alley group is up to. They beat the crap out of the pudgy Y member, but it only seems like they did it to get information out of him. That or just to beat on him, as Ayers was cracking his knuckles before he even said anything. And the only info they got was who was running the station. The fact that they then went to the control room makes me think that they just want to run everything. Sorry. An element of my note taking is apparently I am just a horrible typist. So if the way that I'm talking seems a bit off, it's me trying to understand what the fuck did I mean. Like, example here is I just said that they wanted to run everything, which is what I understood when I was writing this. But for some reason, I've written that they want to ruin everything, which I don't think is right. Anyway, they clearly think no one can stand up to them. That position isn't hurt by the fact that they now have a gun. So, the people who are able to beat the crap out of her when they come across now have a gun. I guess Oze has lost someone in space before. Our tragic backstory character, I guess at the moment we don't know everybody else's backstory. Also, the fact that Pat just lost his dad, which isn't a backstory element so much as a current event. Either way, that's the most that we know about Oze right now, other than the fact he comes from the Jupiter colonies and isn't rich like everyone thinks he is. So we also got more of Yuki being a dick. Everyone with skills are doing their damnedest to help save everyone, and here's Yuki being confronted by people, and his excuse is that it's voluntary, right? He doesn't have to help. So, yeah, we're all probably going to die, and you're gonna sit and watch? Like, what the fuck is up with this character? I can only think that they're making him intentionally bad now to prove that he's not bad later. This is 1999, after all, and when the anime's made. This is 1999. I think it's not out of the realm of speculation that, in fact, Koji could be the bad guy, and that Yuki is this way because of Koji, and that Yuki is actually the good guy, and that we're painting him this way for the hard turn later, which has not played out well for me in other shows, Macross Plus, for example. But I think not accepting it, expecting it might help pad that for me if that is in fact the case. So, in the dub, the guy that looks like he's shouting at everyone that everything is going to be okay is actually rapping. Didn't pick up on that from the sub, but I guess it just makes sense given his hand motions that he's one of those types that just like raps about everything. Also, the soundtrack of the show kind of kind of has that theme to it as well. It's kind of crazy that Julie thanks Koji for saving this Y team. It was really that back alley gang that did everything, with a little help from Oze. All Koji really did was catch Fina when she got knocked back. I'm pretty sure we've also developed a rivalry between Ayers and Oze now. I guess the odd thing would be that Yuki and Erina, out of everyone, came to check on the bridge after the announcement, especially given Yuki's attitude as of late. Again, the whole thing I just said about Yuki turning out to be the good guy by the end, but also, that's just a thought I just had, not in my notes here. So, I guess if they came to investigate because they were concerned, because again, Yuki's actually the good guy, then I guess that could just be a thing. Plenty of episodes to find out. Purple Girl is flying around at the end as the ship is the station. Sorry. as the ship that is the station activates, saying all sorts of stuff about not wanting to die. Again, I have to believe that these are not her words or thoughts, but the thoughts of all the kids on board being filtered through her. The same thing I said before about the opening and the character shots with the words. Some sort of psychic thing is at play. I don't know. Whatever the Bratica is, this is that, I think. I'm still going with it being the core control of the ship, whatever the blurry thing in the background of some of the Purple Girl scenes is. I think if it comes up this episode, I'll be like, that thing. So look out for that, I guess. Also, an odd note, Conrad's ship seems to have the opposite problem of the Libre. As the Libre goes down towards Sayer 3, heat and grap levels increase, whereas Conrad's ship, while pulling the Libre down to Sayer 3, has no problems. His crew starts saying the ship is increasing in heat and grap levels as the Libre pulls them back up to Seer 2. Almost like Conrad and his crew come from Seer 3 and have a problem leaving it. And my last note here, which is oddly the first thing I mentioned before I went into my notes. Just a note on pronunciation. I've been saying Ryvius as Ryvus, like the wheat and the word vus. The word vus, like it's a word. Sorry, I'm stupid. But in the dub, they say Ryvius. But even more confusing is at the end of the episode art shows Julie with English text that says revise us. So, I know revise is not the way it's being said, but revise us sounds more like rive us to me than revi us. Well, I don't know. Now I'm saying it out loud. I feel like even dumber than I did before. Either way, those are all my thoughts going into this. Obviously, I'm expecting some huge character interactions to come along. Maybe not this episode. This episode, I feel like it's going to be more world building, given the fact that we just uncovered the exploration slash battleship at the center of the training station. So obviously, we're going to be finding out about that, I feel like. But as the story progresses, vis-a-vis the board and character relationships, that's what I expect to be the heart of this. So, unlike before, I'm not deleting my notes once I've done reading them out loud, which is what I tend to do in some shows, specifically the ones where I have a co-host. I'm not deleting them in the hopes that I can, in future thoughts, go back, see what I was thinking before, comparatively, then make future notes about how things have progressed and compared against each other. I'm hoping there's going to be that much depth here. Because again, this show interested me on that whole concept. So, anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Alright, Aoi and Yuki. Yuki beat the shit out of Koji. I threw him through a door. Oh. It's looking like that 487 is getting down a real bit. Okay, the oddness is that things said Seer 3, but we saw them pop up and out at the end of last episode of Seer zero? They came out the top, above the sea of Gedult. Also weird, the ship doesn't have artificial gravity, remember? So how are they all pinned to the floor? Well, I guess if they shot up, maybe everyone like got pinned down by acceleration. That could be a thing. But again, the last thing we saw was the ship going up and then resting down again. Unless the Sea of Gedult has its own gravity. If the Sea of Gedult has its own gravity, they might be all pulled to the floor. Because it's the element of we saw where it was last time, and it seemed relatively forward momentum, but solid down and not rotating. Yeah, because if it was in the Gedult before and rotating, how come it had centrifugal force and not just the gravity of the Gedult? I think I'm right about the Yuki thing, by the way, from that pre-opening bit. Ow. Is that guy fucking dead? Or was that a joke? I guess it's lucky this is a school that taught, like, medicine and everything, too. See, even they think it's weird.
リーベデルタの軌道変更がブリッジを占拠しようとした人たちの仕業だってことはわかるけど、それ以降の状況は異常すぎるわ。
What's that guy carrying? Is that a body?
フライトアプローチをミスったにもかかわらず発進したんですからね。
そして一時を
What's that other thing that keep focusing on? Oh, is that the ship?
どんな？
おそらくすごい秘密だ。おいみんな、クライスがどえらいもん見つけた。手間かけさせやがって。助かったよ。一人じゃ心細かったから。おめえを助けるためじゃねえ。そうだよね。ああ、そうだ。僕の名前は
Good Turtle Land.
何か困ったことがあれば。冗談はよしてくれよ。冗談はお前の方だろ。
It's a real dick move. Just pointing a gun at somebody you don't intend to shoot.
まったくだ。そうかな。じゃあな、尋問するときは俺を呼べよ、チャーリー。ヒーヒー言わせてやるぜ、チャーリー。僕はチャーリーじゃないのに。
バイバイチャーリー。チャーリー、チャーリー。
I don't.
ま、いっか。
That is some heavy manipulation by her.
軍人だよな。装備もそれっぽかったし。何を狙ってたと思う？そこまではわかん
So
な
are
い
they bruised foreheads or are they both shadowed by their own hair?
失礼します。
もう大丈夫？
ええ、ありがとう。
本当に一人で平気？
彼女とかいたら悪いから。
え？彼女なんて。
行かないのかよ。せっかくきっかけができたんだからさ。デートの約束
Oh
とか
no, that'd be even creepier chasing after her now.
よっぽしたいんだ。
違うよ。
おお、小杖怪我してね。
平気平気、運はいい方だし。
体脂肪率のおかげじゃ。
なんでそんなデリカシーのないことばっか言えるかな、この口は。コージ、
おっす。
ツバイと一緒にいたんでしょ。
There was a third girl with them when they were in the background.
調べてるよ。
教官たちが殺されたって聞いた。
あんま余計なこと考えるな。
わかった。
そのことみんなに言うなって言われてるから。行こう。
Yeah, she's standing right over there. Just
あ
watching them.
誰と
Oh, yeah, her.
違うのただの幼馴染だってば。
データを転送したからそちらで見てくれ。
Solid
操船用ソ
program.
リッドのようですね。見たことのない形ですが。
ええ、それもかなり高度な。
それがなんだ
Is
と
a
いう
solid gonna turn out to be like an AI or something?
いつの間にかそのソリッドに書き換えられているということですね。
そうだとして何なんだ。わかんないから見せてんだろ。ちなみにこれも全体の 3% ほどを引っ張ってきただけだって。
3%？
その他は解読できないほど難解なんだろ。
そんな。
どうした？
この操船ソリッド、リベールに何一つ繋がってないわ。
とするとシステムの全体像をつかむしか。
そうね、確認しましょう。
I really like the element that we have of this.
新型の構造図とか。
鮮明がある。
We call it cliques.
V の現在位置シアー1 670まで浮上。約1分で通信可能エリアへ突入します。
Just the element of all these different groups doing their own thing, and some of them were very important.
平均外壁温740アンピルです。冷却剤をシアー2河川艇タンデル艇長コンラッドより報告。作戦失敗。ブラティカのシステム稼働を確認。ブラティカの予測位置は圧縮で送る。ゼブラで回線を開け。本体の武運を祈る。
Who are we at war with? None of that has been coming up in the backstory I've seen so far.
なんでルクソンなんだ。
誰も何も言わなかったし。
皆さんこんにちは。私は操船家第2期生スパイの実習班長ルクセン北条です。
He always wanted to be in charge, now he's making himself.
第一に考え幾度となく議論を繰り返し苦しい操船作業を終えてようやくデートの目を偉そうにしてんじゃねえ。
演説聞きに来たんじゃねえ
教官をどうしたんだ。
報告してよ。
どうして地位があるんだ。歌がいいの。
いつまでこんなとこにいなきゃいけねえんだ
Now
よ。
we just need someone to tell everyone to shut the fuck up.
とっとと返事しろよアホ。静かにしろ。
Yep, there we go. Yep, guess I would have been screwed here. That's what I would have said. I think my voice would have cracked while doing it.
情報提供を遅らせたことは心から謝罪します。
だったらもっと早く説明しろよ。答えになってないぞ。そうだ、なんとか言えよ。女だからって許されると思うな。
憶測の行動により航行に支障をきたさないため必要な措置であったと理解してください。今から事故の発端と現状に至るまでの経緯を全て報告します。
こういう時は女に限るな。
その発言は問題あるんじゃない。
リーベデルタはダイブ中に軌道を変更され悪海の危機にさらされました。この事故は明らかに人為的策略によるものでした。
どういうことだよ。
その目的が何なのか、また犯行に及んだ人物は何者であるのか。
Yeah, I have to wonder how wise it is to tell everybody about this.
純然たる危機が私たちを襲ったという
It's the whole don't tell everybody everything, because it could start a panic concern.
私たちツバイはこの強襲艇リベールへと皆さんを誘導し、降下するリーベデルタから脱出を図るためフライトを決断しました。ですがフライトアプローチは困難を極め、私たちはリーベデルタと共に悪海するしかないという状況に。
So it's a recap for us, the audience, but it's also letting everybody else know. I like that.
そのことを憂慮した教官たちがリーベデルタ
I like that they're framing the recap
その代償を得て
as something in universe.
時間を確保することができました。私たち
教官たちは死んだってことか。
はい、全員殉職されました。
殺されたことはなしか。その方がいいよ。
教官たちの尊い犠牲で私たちはフライトを果たすことができました。現在リベールは地球と火星の間約2万7000ゼラーデの場所で停滞しています。 残念ながら問題はまだ残っています。手近にある映像を見てください。ここが私たちのいるリベールです。
何これ。
甲虫艦の構造図じゃないか。
どうしてそれがリベールとくっついているわけ？
So we're gonna have to move from the Libel into the spaceship then. I thought this was part of it. That was the confusion I was asking about before.
操船プログラムの中にあったこの未知なる船、その名は
She's gotta be the AI or something. Why would she be so happy about the name of her own ship?
リベールは現在このリバイアスからエネルギーを供給されています。1G になったのもリバイアスの能力によるものと推測されます。リベールの救難信号は約5時間前から発信を続けていますが、不安定な場所にこれ以上いるのは得策ではありま
What
せ
the
ん。
hell was that satellite that was
最善
going
の方法は
past?
動力源のあるリバイアスに移り救助を待つことです。大丈夫、救助は必ず来ます。皆さんの理解と協力をお願いします。
こんなもんかな。
ありがとうございます。それでは
She didn't fucking hear a word.
マニュアルを元にし
Listen
た
to
生
music.
活プランを配布します。これは私たちが救助を待つ間、共同生活をするためのガイドラインです。このプランはツバイとしての指示ではな
Ah,
く、
fucking
全員で
Pat,
生き残るた
man.
めのものであることを
何様のつもりだ、あいつら。
Yuki, I'm having a hard time believing you're the good guy.
太陽系標準時間1544時。
Okay, I clearly was wrong about these guys.
船からの救難信号を受信しました。タンデルからのデータと同じです。プランを YS45 に移行。ブラティカを抑える。
Was that separate from Conrad's ship? I think it looked, that definitely looked different from Conrad's ship.
変わったブリッジだな。通常のものとは構造からして違っている。でも本格的じゃん。こういうのに乗りたかったんだよ俺。訓練用とは全然違うぞ。とっとと船の立ち上げやっちまおうぜ。ああ、空気は問題ない。マニュアルないな。オンラインじゃないか。あ、すげえ。最新鋭じゃないけどアホみたいに容量ある。
ゲオネにあるやつも目じゃないな。
まだリバイアスに移れないの？その前に同じ学科のやつ 4,5 人でチームを作れって。
I mean, yeah, if you don't even know if the ship has air on it,
じゃあ私ら決まりだね。
you don't want to just like walk in or let 400 kids get on there.
俺一人ならパスだ。ごめんな。そうか、わかった。
よかったね。
I'm gonna have to change the board up apparently because they're not in the same teams as they were before.
いい加減にしろよニックス。
イクミじゃん。何やってんの？
チーム探してるとこ。お前ら二人だけか？だったら俺らとご一緒しない？
Or rather, the team-specific ones are now
決まりだな。
meta-forming teams.
僕、宮城明宏です。16歳です。
あ、どうも。相葉浩二16。
俺ニックス13。
生意気なガキだけど操縦はピカイチ。
Well, I mean, I guess this answers some of my questions about ages.
ごめんね。
13 to 16 so far.
ガールフレンド連れなんてやるじゃんか。パートナーはせえないけど。
いいやつなんだ。
信じるよ。
多くの犠牲者と我々を守ってくれたリベールへ敬礼。
案内チェック終了。これよりリバイアスへのコネクトハッチをオープンする。
I have to say this. If I was part of this Y crew, I don't think I would have interacted with anybody in the 400.
元気でいいじゃない。昔の工事。
Keep the situation secret. Just keep trying to do what's needed. Set up a whole secondary committee or something to deal with people.
この試練。ラフラー。よかった。
この周辺歪みは何だ？報告書にあった機能によるものかと。 使いこなされると厄介だ。
ブリッジですか？リベールからの移動終了です。ハッチを閉じてください。
了解。さすがに疲れたな。
ほとんど睡眠をとってませんから。
ユイリらさ、部屋取って休めば。
でも
あと
I don't think I'd be able to.
だけだし、ランもカラボナもそうしなよ。
We're too focused on trying to figure out how the new ship works.
犯人たちは？
時間を置いてこちらに移した方が得策でしょ。
そうね。じゃあお願い。
おい、ちょっと地図見せてくれよ。
何これ？コンテナ通路だったわけね。
Too dangerous to go frickin' wandering. That was Yuki's old partner.
ほう、なかなかですな。
Our teammate.
いい加減決めようぜ。俺も飽きちった。
そうだな。この辺まだ誰も決めてないみたいだし。
どう？僕はどこでも。
決まりだ。向かいの部屋も空いてるし。
葵ちゃん、ドアがないけど。割り当てはどこも同じだし、見張りでも立てるか。私、防犯グッズ持ってる。
俺たち向かいだから心配しなくていいよ。
それが不安なのよ。
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the typical concern in things like this.
任せとけって。
じゃあ女の子はこっちね。
あ、ヒロ荷物頼むぜ。この上探検してくれ。
おほう、お子様は元気リュンリュンだね。
So Nick is gonna be annoying.
イクミ、俺登録に行ってくるよ。
じゃあ俺と秋広で適当に荷物入れとくぜ。
頼む。
ここにいたんだ。
Again, they're together in the opening. I have to believe this is
キャンベル
happening.
君よね。あなた、キャンベル教官の息子さんでしょ？お父さん、死んだの？ええ。でもみんなが生き延びることができたのはお父さんたちのおかげよ。お家に帰りたい。私もよ。大丈夫。うちには帰れる。けど、もうちょっと時間がかかりそうなの。それまでの間、我慢しようね。
See, it's easier to be sympathetic to kids like him versus the confusing 16-year-old girl.
あそこにはドアもあるし、こういう状況だからこそ立場をはっきりさせるんだ。
なんだチビ。ようチャーリー。
はーい。
あ、はい。
はい。失礼しました。
立場をはっきりさせるって？
On one hand, should have stuck up for himself. On the other hand, gun.
ニックネームなんだ。僕仲いいんだよ彼らと。
チームの登録はこちらで行っています。一列に並んでください。
あ、
名前と。
やっぱりブリッジがこの私にふさわしい場所だ。
何やってんのクライス？
ゲドルトにいた時の
It's weird that it still has a whole simulation of Libra
そうい
Delta.
やあの時何かに引っ張られたんだよね。
そうだ。原因ははっきりさせねば。
問題があったら放り出していい。
よろしく。
じゃあな。
ありがとう、ユキ。
お前さ、似てんだよ俺に。
ユキ。
Again, I gotta figure him out. He's either an ass. Oh, he is an ass.
データの最初は
I don't see how you... I don't see how you explain him not helping when everybody was in danger. And him be the good guy.
ベッドの場所取り。なんかよ。
彼女さ、まだ一人なんだって。同じコンダクターだっていうし、よかったら入れてやってくれよ。
私。いい
から。
What does conductor mean?
わかった。どうぞ入ってちょうだい。
Oh, conductor. Probably their name for service industry.
よろしく。ファイナです。なん
I mean, Yuki and Koji were literally doing the same thing for two different girls. It's such... Rafa is so fucking cute. That sounds official and not like terrorists. Even though they're just killing all the adults. Okay, so it was the same group, just one of the smaller parts of the ship. I don't know what those were. Observation pods? They didn't look a lot like the navigational things, the salvage ships that they were using in the first episode. It's weird that Ayers is the literal furthest guy towards the camera in that shot. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, to the whole thing about Yuki possibly being a good guy and not the asshole piece of shit that he seems to be in the backstory elements of the show. Or not the backstory elements, the last couple of episodes. I could see them doing a twist or something on that. But that doesn't explain the things that he's done during the episodes. Like not helping people.
Yeah,
they look like the same things as before. Again, not super enthused about how Ayers is just pointing the gun at everybody. I would like to think that Ayers... I don't know, he seems so important by where they put him in the opening and the ending, but at the same time, he just beat the shit out of... I guess I'm going to call him Charles because it's easier to remember. He just beat the shit out of Charles for, like, meaningless information and has pointed the gun at, like, what, 2 regular people now? You just don't do that. That's not good gun safety. And I guess we've abandoned Libra to board the Ryvius. I'm still thinking Purple Girl has to be the AI of the system. That's just the thing that makes the most sense to me right now. An AI system that can read minds? Because again, it feels like the things that she was saying from the perspective of the characters is the thoughts of those characters. Because that's the thing that makes the most sense to me as well. I don't know. I think I did all my theory crafting right at the start of the episode, and now just don't know. I need more information. So, that said, I think we're going to end this episode of Ryvius. Once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?